Hello. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Today is day 17 of the free 30-day Get Ready for Change challenge. I am Sorry, Rayleigh Jack Crane, and I am the creator of this challenge as well as the owner of Pampered and Luxed, which is where this challenge has really come from and a product of me completing this challenge myself. So, with that being said, we'll go ahead and jump into today's daily gratitudes and affirmations. I'm going to pour my cup of tea. I'm having matcha. First of all, it definitely settled because that is not the right color. How is everyone? Leave your feelings in the comments. How do you feel getting to day 17? Okay, that's a bit better. Okay. So, today I do want to say that I am grateful for I'm grateful for just the ability to reframe my thoughts and actually believe in different things than what I may have been taught or what I may have just decided on myself in the past. So that's what I'm grateful for today. I'm really appreciative and proud of myself for continuing this challenge because today I definitely didn't feel like doing this at all. Like I was like, I don't really like I don't want to go live right now. I don't really want to do that. That's not something I want in my cards today, but it's something I put in my cards today and it's not something I'm unable to do. Like it's not something that would put me in danger if I do or hurts me, harms me if I do. It's just something I don't feel like doing today. And yeah, definitely 30 days of doing something so definitely free, authentic, and still social has been um just a different type of task. Just something different. It's just been different. And I've definitely been looking for different ways to challenge myself. So I think this is where I'm starting to feel more of that challenge bit of the challenge portion of the challenge that I've put myself on. I think it's starting to be more of that on day 17 for me. So if you've been feeling challenged, good. It's a good thing. It may not feel great or you may not want to the whole time, but it's a good thing. So that's what I'm proud of myself for, just continuing on and making sure that I don't go back into like just old thinking patterns where I may have been like, "Oh, well, this is enough of an excuse for me to be like, I don't really have to," or just different ways and reasons that I would choose to neglect my actual own long-term happiness and desires because me completing this 30-day challenge is about my long-term peace, and I know that. I know this fact. So to decide that I'm not gonna do it because I'm temporarily feeling something or I'm temporarily in a specific mode or environment, that's me neglecting me and my long-term happiness, and I'm just not doing that right now. So, uh, my daily affirmation, now that I've said those, what is excuse me. Okay, now that I've done those, my daily affirmation today, I let me sip my beautiful moment to give my brain some beautiful thoughts. Oh yeah, we're unsweetened today. Ran out of honey. My affirmation today is I am fully capable and strongly willed. I am fully capable and strongly willed. That's it. Period. I'm fully capable, strongly willed, and intentionally guided. I like that. I am fully capable, strongly willed, and intentionally guided. That is my affirmation for today. And if you've been here before, which you shouldn't be on day 17 if you haven't been here before, or if you're coming from Instagram and you're like, oh, what do you mean? Because I did all of the ones on Instagram days 1 through 16, but now I want to watch you on the live and see what y'all were doing. We usually do an analysis, a very deep dive, and actually go into how each individual question can help you. Today, I'm still going to briefly go over what that analysis looks like, but I'm not going to actually help answer everything together. Like I said, I am at the beginning of this challenge. I told myself, yes, I'm going to complete it, but I also am going to be in alignment with whatever I need each individual day and make sure I give myself grace. So this is definitely going to be more one of the 15-minute videos instead of the longer ones. I know I get really detailed, and I think I went to almost 2 hours on like day 14 or something. We had a lot to talk about, but other than that, yeah, let's go ahead and get into this daily prompt. Mm. Okay. For this free 30-day Get Ready for Change challenge to help you embrace your power, day 17 is describe a time I experienced an ending or let go of someone I had experienced. And that just means anytime that you feel like you've had to release holds of the past or release specific people or just something like that in order to move forward. Because holding on to it the way you did, um, it wasn't helping you. So that's what I mean when I talk about an experienced ending or letting go of someone you had experienced. Now, with your analysis, I would highly suggest going and checking out day 16, following along to it, but actually answering with your answers for day 17's prompt. Because that's essentially it's the same sort of analysis. And even though the prompt seems a bit more serious, it's definitely the same sort of understanding of things. Like you had to figure out and understand who you were to be able to let those things and that people, whatever it was you needed to let go. You had to be able to step into your own. And yesterday's question, we were identifying who we were as a person, identifying what it actually looks like to feel nurtured in that identity. So definitely follow along with the analysis for that. But you basically, there's the basic form of analysis, which is you just asking yourself why pretty much 7 times over once you answer the question. So you get your answer, and let's say, oh, I experienced uh this situation where I had to move away from friends, and I was only like 12 and we were moving for the first time or something. And during that, I felt all of these feelings. You would ask yourself why you felt those specific feelings. You might even ask yourself why y'all had to move as well, because that may also go into subconsciously your beliefs around the world and your belief about yourself. The next form, excuse me, of analysis, which is like more of that deeper form, you can definitely get to and start soothing your inner child, start healing some things with this analysis form. And basically, you take those feelings, you really write down the feelings that you experience during this whole situation you're talking about when you're journaling. You journal your feelings when you were reading the question and when you answered. You list any intrusive thoughts that may come around that specific experience that ended, or the person you were leaving, or the people, the spaces you were leaving. And then you go ahead and rephrase it, give it a new meaning, and you give affirmations to help instill that new meaning, right? And this is the same process we used yesterday. We did all three, we broke them down. Um, and then the third type of analysis is where you dig even deeper and you start to soothe feelings that are recurring in you at this very moment that may be challenging the version of yourself that you see and how to actually get there, is going to help you meet your new self. And what you do is you list and basically describe the first experience you ever had with the feelings you felt during the experience you had when you were leaving the people you were leaving. So let me clear that up. Okay. Your journal prompt answer for day 17, you would identify the feelings you had during that. And then whatever feelings you had during your day 17 prompt answer, uh, back during the time that it happened, you're going to ask yourself, okay, when was the first time I ever felt those actual feelings? What was that experience? What happened? You're going to write that down. You're going to talk about your feelings during that other first experience, what was actually going on with your feelings, where things went, the age you were. You're going to list the emotional needs that were met at that time, your needs that were unmet at the time, some emotional needs that are currently being met in your life, and then emotional needs that still continue to need meeting a little bit. Like you still feel like, oh, I could do a bit better about making sure this need of mine emotionally is met. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're, oh, wow, you're going to come up with a new journal prompt question for yourself that is directly targeted from that specific experience, okay? And when you're following along with the one from yesterday, it won't have this prompt here. It'll literally, I walk you through exactly how to come up with those prompts. And I say exactly what it is, what it does for you. I can give you a brief overview, but really to understand it, make sure you just go to day 16, rewatch it if you've already watched it, or take your notes. Make sure you have notes that you can reference. That's what the journal is for. I have one myself. Like I write in it, I use it, and I also answer in these documents so you guys can see what it looks like. But you'll create a journal prompt from all of your answers given. You analyze them to get a prompt that honestly is something that can help you just move forward and process even more things in life. The second question you come up with is a journal prompt, or really a thought bubble to think about for a while until you kind of formulate it. But it's a thought to think about that actually helps you figure out how to take action now, like what types of actions to take. Then these are just affirmations you create based off of all of your analysis, all of the answering, the journaling you've just done, that help relieve and actually heal those specific pain points that you may have. Okay. So, with that being said, yes, I do want to make sure I get you guys a full white worksheet that you can print or download, just like the free daily reset worksheet that's currently in the description box. Um, I'm going to go over that and show you guys that really quick. But yeah, I want to make sure that I get you guys a worksheet that really shows you the steps of analysis, how each analysis is really most important. And I'm not having to go so in depth with the analysis each day. I can just say, hey, here's the analysis like worksheet. If you want to make sure that you actually have a really in-depth analysis, you can follow along with these because they help you still stay in the theme of analyzing and actually analyze in a way that's understandable. But it's all you, it's all your thoughts, it's all of your feelings, instead of me analyzing a full prompt that we're both trying to answer simultaneously. I feel like that may get a little bit convoluted when the feelings of everyone kind of go everywhere. So, yes, with that being said, that is today's prompt. Hopefully you read it, you wrote it down. I'll show it one more time just to make sure everyone got it. Oops. Day 17, describe a time I experienced an ending or let go of someone I had experienced. Yep. And I would definitely suggest anytime you answer the prompt, please, please, please at least do the basic form of analysis where you ask yourself why over and over, because it really helps you understand the purpose of every single individual prompt and what it kind of unlocks for you, because it's going to unlock something different for everybody. It may unlock some of the same things, but definitely take this as your journey. It's yours, and don't really feel pressured to answer a specific way. Yeah. All right. I'm going to leave that up there for a second, just a little bit more before I close out. Wow, that is so unsweetened. It's really still tasty. I love the matcha, but I'm used to having like a touch of honey or agave or maple, or I think I need to make a date paste again. I only buy locally sourced honey from like local beehives. Like I could go, instead of, they just have shelf space in our local grocery stores, but I could go to where they are and they could literally jar up some honey for me. And their bees are just, they have way too much of it. So that I am well, I'm vegan. That's also why I mention it. I'm vegan, but I do consume honey. That's really that's the only animal byproduct I consume at this time. Yeah. I gave up the cheese. I did. I gave up the cheese. Okay. Now, with that being said, I do want to just mention that this this 30-day challenge is definitely a challenge. I'm sure it's not just a challenge for me in terms of the consistency, but also a challenge for other people in terms of actually answering questions about themselves and thinking about themselves for once. I know a lot of people may feel like they've been put here to do for others when that's not really what any of us are made for. Not even the trees and the bees, okay? Like we're all here to just do. And for some things like the bees, what they do is do as a community. So for them, it's to do as a community, but they're still little individual bees and they still like their own individual flowers. Some of them like certain spots, some of them like to fly differently. And when they buzz, they buzz. So I just want to really emphasize one of the affirmations. I think I said it yesterday or the day before, and it is I am both unique and common. Like I'm a unique individual. There's no one in this world who is exactly absolutely like me, but we are all human beings. We're all, even just on this earth living, we're all just beings. We're still in the animal kingdom. Like I'm common. I am still something that needs sunlight, that needs water, that needs shelter, that needs food. And I think to forget that there is a dichotomy in everything, like things exist as they do. There isn't really ors, there's just really a lot of ands. I feel like I'm definitely diving more into a headspace of knowing certain things for myself. And I'm definitely glad to make sure I can take this journey more consistently and without the fear of being seen or without the fear of, yeah, being seen. So I'm happy to do this right now. I didn't really want to do this. I'm glad I came on and still did it today. I know that I'm going to continue. And um, yes, please definitely click the links in the description box if you want to follow along to the daily prompts without going through every single live and you just want to make sure you revisit a specific live because I really spoke through the analysis the best way you could understand on that day. Then you can follow at Pampered and Luxed on Instagram and you'll be able to see every single individual prompt from day 1 all the way up to day 17 so far. That's what day we're on. It'll have all the way through day 30. But yes, that's what they don't tell you how to analyze. That's why I was saying make sure you watch the live, at least one of the live recordings, and take some notes on how to analyze. I'll still have that worksheet for you, so stay tuned. And once I give you guys the worksheet, I'm also going to go ahead and drop the launch date for this actual full 30-day workbook, which was the origins of the free 30-day challenge that I'm doing right now. I I'm really proud of this book. It really when I look at it, I feel like, "Oh my god, did I really like this is something that other people are gonna have." I get to think about it and it really feels more real. I'm really glad I printed it out when I did, even though I didn't feel like I was ready or everything had been put in place for me to actually sell them or for me to actually give them out to people and take it to like different pop-up events and actually say, hey, this is a workbook that helps you hone in on who you are, what visions you have for life, and how to get there. It helps you literally get ready for change. So yeah, I'm really this free 30-day challenge, this version has been really fun. It's been really uh interactive, and I've definitely taken my time with making sure you guys have an analysis and also just being myself because that was my main challenge for myself this first 30 days really because I've realized that I think the reason this challenge definitely feels so pivotal to me is because I know it's just the first of I think the rest of my life of doing 30 days, like 30-day challenges or just taking my life 30 days at a time. I I would understand what people meant when they would say, "Oh, take it one day at a time," but it never made sense and it never really felt right to me because every single day is different and it has different priorities. And if I'm just taking one day at a time, I feel like I'm unfulfilled in making sure everything that I actually am passionate about, I get to tend to or everything that fulfills me, I get to be fulfilled in. So I've been taking my days 30 days at a time so far. I've been doing that. Honestly, I think I've been doing that for about a year now. Just like, okay, this month, this is what we're doing. This month, this is what we're doing. And I still plan things out farther than that. Like I still have yearly strategies and quarterly goals and checklists and things. But for me, taking it just the 30 days at a time, it also helps me ride the roller coaster better of just the emotional cycles of having female reproductive parts. Like I'm able to actually like live my life in a cycle because it feels like a cycle for me. And I think that's definitely one of the things that I had to come on here to learn, like, "Oh, no, there yes, you do things your way, but you have to actually get ready to do those things your way, because if you don't start now, when are you actually gonna start doing things your way? You're just gonna continue to do what you know because you don't have any other way, any other groove, any other habits of doing it differently." So, yes, I am proud of myself. I know it sounded like, "Whew," but I do also feel kind of this like, oh, like, okay, the next 30 days are coming. I do need to kind of prep for that. Me, I want to make sure that I'm like thoroughly prepped for the next 30 days. I don't want to fall off even for like a day. I want the next 30 days to literally just hit day one is literally the next day after day 30 of this month. So I want to make sure for me that I'm actually prepared and I actually have all of my yearly and quarterly and monthly goals aligned and everything set so that I can just look up and be like, okay, that's the next things to do. Or okay, that's the next thing for me to just rest on, or that's the next thing for me to think on, or whatever it is. This is what's next, and I have it ready for me to know. I don't have to sit there and agonize over what should take priority. I've already decided. So I do want to go over a full like weekly reset with y'all. Let me see what week I want to do that. If it'll be, but then I'll also probably do more like a monthly reset because, okay. I usually reset um kind of between, okay, the last day of this month is the 30th. I'd actually like to do a 10-day reset. I'd like to do a 10-day week. Sometimes for that's what I mean by doing what works for you or what works for me. My brain sometimes is kind of usually like, okay, we're on a month cycle, but it's not 7 days, like 4 7 days. It's 3 30 days. That's kind of how my what naturally works for me when it comes to grocery shopping, when it comes to planning events and just things that I'm gonna go do out. Like I know in 10 days it is too much for me to ask from myself to do certain things more than 5 days out of that 10 days, more than 50%. But if it's 7 days, me doing it 4 days out of that or 3 days out of that would be too much still. 2 days, 1 day out of 7 would be almost okay, but that's not the same ratio as 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10 I'm able to do, so I map out 10 days instead of 7. That's what works for me. Do what works for you. And that's also the way that I created this monthly life planner and journal. Ooh, oh no. I also the reason it's not on the website yet, I am looking for a different binding technique because this one isn't um it's not holding up to my standards. So it's definitely not holding up to standards that I want to give to people. Um and yeah, but so far I have this workbook that does this for me, and inside of it I have you can literally take the days and like if you want to create 3 weeks with 10 days instead of having um 7 days with 4 weeks, then you can do that. You can like reorder the pages. That's how I'm structuring it. It's gonna be more in a like suede or leather or cloth bound sort of 3 ring binder that everything can fit into. There'll be pockets and it'll come with a pen and everything. So that's really more what I'm going for, which is why I'm like, we gotta fix this fine. This isn't gonna work. I want to make sure that you guys can actually have it and it's really structured and sturdy. That's why it's not on the website yet, but do stay tuned to check that out. In the meantime, you can check this 30-day workbook out. And I really do hope you guys, after this 30-day challenge or after whatever 30-day challenge you're on, if you're watching this afterwards and you're like, okay, I'm not answering the same questions y'all were, but I'm almost done with mine. And where I'm getting there. So what after your first free 30-day challenge, I do highly recommend doing the free one first. It helps you get into the groove, get into the habit, and it helps make this not feel like such gigantic bites because you are going to dive deeper. You're going to answer 4 questions instead of one. You're going to actually you still list your feelings and some affirmations, and there's a section on every single page where you can go back in the future and actually just talk about what you feel about all of this that was going on at that time. We put your date and everything. We go over themes of life, themes of life, this different skills that you're honing at this time. It really helps you figure out what exactly you're getting ready for. What exactly are you getting ready for as well? So you can check that out right now. It's in the description box below in the link. Um, and you can just click shop once you get to the website. It's there for you guys to just look at for now until it's ready. If you're watching this live, if you're not watching it live and you're watching it days or weeks later, it's most likely already ready for orders. And you can definitely click and buy it, and you can order it. And you can have that transformational journey ready for you once you finished your free 30-day challenge. Yeah. There's also a mindfulness coloring book up there. It is a 60-day mindfulness coloring book with some extra pages for free writing, free journaling, and just mindfulness coloring in general. It's more part of the mindfulness and the alone time elements specifically. You can still analyze those prompts. There's still room for you to do that with those. There's still very good prompts that help you do that. And they all go with this theme of getting you ready for change. That's why it's still the Get Ready for Change mindfulness coloring book, but it is more of just a daily, I want something to do for the next 20 minutes to 45 minutes before I have dinner and I don't want to be scrolling on TikTok. You can do this instead, and you can like just color and actually have some fun and vibe, or you can sit in nature and vibe and color. That's what it's there for. It's up on the website as well. I'll make sure to get this up as soon as I have more of a solid foundation for the outerwear for it. So it's not so it's up to better standards. And what else do I want to mention? Oh, I am creating that blog post. Let me actually put it in my to-do list today. I'm going to go ahead and create the get ready for change journey discussion board on my website. And I'll make sure to share the link with y'all in the next live. So thank you. Thank you. And I'm glad